Okay, good morning, year two. This is your maths lesson for Wednesday. Because there's a maths at 9:30, we're doing it as a video rather than as live teaching. Um, so we're going to go through the lesson and then we'll have a look at your independent task for afterwards. Now, at various points during this lesson, I might ask you to pause the video to have a think about a question that I have asked. So if you hear me say pause the video, just press pause and have a think about the question I've asked. And then hopefully when you press play again, I will explain the answers. I'm going to try now to share my screen so you'll be able to see the maths on the smart notebook here. So here are 2D shapes. Now remember, 2D shapes are flat shapes. We've got three 2D shapes here, and our problem starter says what is the same and what is different. So have a careful look at the three shapes and see if you can come up with something that's the same about all of them and something that makes all of them different. Pause the video here and have a go at sorting these shapes. What's the same and what is different? Pause the video, have a go. Right, so things that are the same. All of these shapes have got four sides. They've all got four sides. They've also all got four vertices. Now, if you remember, a vertice is where two sides meet to make a corner. So all of these shapes have got four sides and four vertices. Now, there is actually a name for shapes with four sides. It's one you've heard before. It begins with a quadrilateral. So all of these shapes are quadrilaterals. This one is a special, this green one, sorry, is a quadrilateral. We would call it a square because all of the sides are the same length. That's something that's different about this one to these other two. In this shape, this square, all the sides are the same length. In these shapes, the sides are different lengths. They're also different colours and different sizes. So there's lots of things there that you could have said were the same, lots of things you could have said that were different. Right, let's have a look at what we're doing next. So we're going to look at something called a Carroll diagram. A Carroll diagram. And a Carroll diagram is a way that you can sort shapes into different groups. So we've got four categories here that we need to sort the shapes in. Down this side, we've got orange and not orange. And on this side, we've got shapes that have four sides and shapes that only have three sides. So in this box here, you would put any shapes that are orange and have four sides. In this box, you would put shapes that are not orange and have four sides. Over here, you would put any shapes that are orange and have three sides. And down here, you would put shapes that have three sides and are not orange. So once again, I want you to have a go at thinking about where everything is going to go before I show you. So pause the video and have a think, where are these different shapes going to go in the Carroll diagram? Pause the video and have a go. And now I'll tell you the answers. So if we have a think about our orange shapes. Here's an orange shape. Does it need to go in has four sides or has three sides? Well, this is a square. The square has four sides, so that's going to go in there. It's orange and it's got four sides. This shape is also orange, but it doesn't have four sides. It's a triangle, so it has three sides. So that one's going to go in there. So we've sorted our orange shapes into shapes that have four sides and shapes that have three sides. Let's have a look at this one. Now this one's not orange. It's another triangle. And it's not orange, so it's going to go down here at the bottom. So should I put it in four sides or three sides? Yeah, three sides. It's a triangle. It's got three sides. This purple rectangle here, just like this one, is not orange, but it's got four sides instead of three, so it's going to go in there. And finally, this green triangle here has three sides and it's not orange, so it goes in there with that blue triangle, which has now disappeared. Sorry, I'm not sure why that's happened. But it would go in there with the blue triangle. because it's not orange and it has 3 sides. So this is a Carroll diagram. It's a way to sort different shapes. Let's have a look at this Carroll diagram. Now the shapes here have mostly already been sorted for you. What you need to have a go at is figuring out what these different categories might be on this Carroll diagram. So in a moment, pause the video and have a go. Think about, what do these two shapes have in common that would go up here? What do these two shapes have in common that would go over here? Working your way along, what do these two shapes have in common that would go here? And what do these two shapes, the hexagon and the pentagon, have in common that would go here? Pause the video and have a think. Right, so hopefully this one I think is the easiest one. We should be able to see the thing that's the same about these two shapes is that they are both pink. They're the same colour. So this category is pink. They put all the pink shapes into this column in the Carroll diagram. Now these two aren't the same colour. So the category here is not pink. So we've got shapes that are pink and shapes that are not pink. We've sorted it like that. Now over here, you've got to have a think. This circle and this triangle, what do they have in common? Well, the circle's got 1 side, the triangle's got 3 sides, so it's not the same number of sides. The triangle's got 3 vertices and the circle's got no vertices, so it's not that either. They're different colours, so what do they have in common? Well, the way they've sorted this is by number of sides. What they've said is that all the shapes in this row here, the circle and the triangle, have less than 4 sides. 1 side and 3 sides. So they've got less than 4 sides. These two shapes here, the pentagon and the hexagon, have got more than 4 sides. So this is how we finish off our Carroll diagram. Shapes that are pink go in here, shapes that are not pink go over here, and then we've sorted them on this axis along the rows by saying how many sides they have. Do they have less than 4 sides, the circle and the triangle, or more than 4 sides, the hexagon and the pentagon? Now down here at the bottom, it asks you, where would this shape go? This pink triangle. So pause the video, think where that pink triangle would go. Right, so it's pink, so it's going to go in this column here with the circle and the hexagon. Does the triangle have less than 4 sides or more than 4 sides? It's got less, so it would go in that one there, where the circle was. It's pink, and it's got less than 4 sides. So that's where we're going to put our pink triangle. So the Carroll diagram is one way we can sort shapes. And you'll need to be able to read the Carroll diagram and make your own Carroll diagram in your independent task, which we will have a look at in just a moment. The other way to sort things, or one other way to sort things, is a Venn diagram. We've looked at a Carroll diagram. This is a Venn diagram. Now, hopefully you can see that one of the differences is that a Venn diagram uses circles. 2 circles in this one. We've got 2 big circles, but they overlap in the middle here. So there's a space here where both circles are on top of each other. So we've got different categories for each circle. This one on the right is for shapes that are blue in this circle. This one on the left is that shapes have 4 vertices. So blue or 4 vertices. What do you think we would put in the middle? The middle is for shapes that have 4 vertices and are blue. So let's have a go at sorting some of these shapes. Let's start with this blue triangle here. So it hasn't got 4 vertices. Remember, vertices is another word for corners. The triangle has only got 1, 2, 3 vertices, but it is blue, so I put it over there. Now this square here is blue, so you might think it would go with the triangle, but it's also got 4 vertices, 4 corners. So actually this square goes here in the middle of the circles where they overlap, because it's blue and it has 4 vertices. Both things are true. This yellow square here would go on this side where it says 4 vertices, because it's not blue, so it doesn't go over there. It has 4 vertices, 4 corners, so it would go over there. This blue rectangle here, just like the square, goes in the middle of the 2 circles where they overlap, because it's blue and it has 4 vertices. Both things are true, so it goes in the middle in that overlap. Finally, we've got this shape here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. Can you remember what a shape with 7 sides is called? It's a heptagon. A heptagon. Now, the heptagon isn't blue, and it doesn't have 4 vertices, so it can't go in our Venn diagram. We're going to leave that out to the side there. Right, let's come back to our video. So I know we're going quite quickly. Remember, if you're confused about anything or you're not quite sure, you can always go back and watch this video again and skip to the bit where you're not quite sure. Let's have a look at your independent learning. So this is what you're going to need to do in a moment. So the first part is sorting the shapes into different groups. I think this should be nice and easy for most of you. Your 3 groups are rectangles, triangles, and pentagons. You have to draw lines to put the 2D shapes in the right group. Now there's no crossover here because a shape can't be a triangle and a pentagon. So you just need to draw lines from the shape to say the names. For this next one, we've got a Venn diagram, but the 2 headings are missing. So you've got to think, what's the same about the shapes in this group? What's the same about the shapes in this group? And then what's this pentagon here? This green pentagon must be both things. So have a careful look at the headings of this Venn diagram. Now for this one, you've got a Carroll diagram. Your categories are blue and not blue down here, and 3 or more sides or less than 3 sides up here. You've got to think, have the shapes been sorted correctly? So for each shape, look at the 2 things that have to be true. The triangle is blue and it has 3 sides. So that triangle is in the right place. Do that for each of the shapes. See what has to be true about both of them and see if there are any mistakes. Now your first challenge says, Greg says if he adds the sides of 2 triangles, a rectangle and an octagon, there would be 20 sides. Is he correct? How do you know? Can you prove it? Now the best way to prove this is by drawing it. So draw 2 triangles, a rectangle and an octagon, and then count at the sides. See if Greg is right or wrong. Now, challenge number 2 is creating your own Venn diagram. Now remember, a Venn diagram is the one with the circles. So you've got to draw 2 neat circles, but make sure they're overlapping. Then you need to think about 2 categories. You could do it with color, you could do it with sides, you could do vertices. Lots of things you can do with 2D shapes. And then I want you to fill your Venn diagram with as many 2D shapes as you can. Excuse me. Right, let's come back to the video, hopefully. Right, as always, please send me your learning on eSchools. You can do it in the homework tab or you can send me a message. I'm really enjoying looking at your learning. You're doing amazing work, so keep it up. Right, I will see you all this afternoon for our English lesson. Yeah, goodbye, see you later.